Yeah. Nah. Whoa, it's a known prophecy now. Whoa, gotta know the prophecy now. Whoa, it's a known prophecy now. Nah, 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 nah. Whoa, it's a known prophecy now. Whoa, gotta know the prophecy now. Whoa, it's a known prophecy now. Nah, 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 nah.
Connection to me in some way or another. But what I really wanted y'all to do is have a chance to get to know what Famous was about. So Famous, as you'll see on your panel card, stands for Fashion and Marketing in the U.S. And it's built to bridge the gap between fashion and marketing. So what I've done today is brought you all out to hear from our lovely panel of guests here, who are going to talk about how they interpret fashion and how they use that in their everyday businesses. So with that being said, I'm going to get started. And I'll have everyone introduce themselves, beginning with Mr. Innie over here.
Hello, everybody. I'm all about the engagement, the interaction type piece. But my name is Innie Ikpe. I am a fashion consultant working with professional athletes in Philadelphia and other places. A few of my clients have been Marcus Smith of the Eagles, who now plays for the Seattle Seahawks. Jordan Matthews of the Eagles, who now plays for the New England Patriots. Marquise Goodwin, 49ers. And it's a bunch of guys that I've been able to work with. I love fashion. I've always appreciated fashion since small, at a young age. And I'm just happy to be here today to talk about my experiences and the things that I'm doing. I'm actually in the process of transferring or moving from Philly to LA to just make more things happen for myself. And I'm anxious, but I'm also nervous. But in God's time, everything happens. So
if anybody has some LA plugs, put them out this way.
So but again, I'm happy to be here. And
All right.
Hi, my name is Victoria, but everybody does call me Tori too. So I have a blog called Rosewood Avenue, and it's pretty much a blog that enhances the emphasis is on plus size women and for the curvy girls and how you can accent and wear fashion and still be comfortable in your own skin. And I also am a fashion buyer too, so I buy sportswear clothing for brands and stores. Yeah. Keep it short and sweet. I'll talk to you.
Good evening, my name is Ilbert J. Sanchez, and I'm a fine menswear designer. I do also do women's wear, bespoke suits, tuxedos, pea coats, trench coats. Everything here is from my company, Garçon Couture. We have a showroom in New York City and Miami as well. We're going to do 2 years this Black Friday.
And you have all of their info on your panel cards if you want to, follow them on Instagram or find out more about what they do. So now I'm going to jump in and ask them some of the questions that I've gathered in my time of loving fashion and from other people as well. So recently, I actually was trying to get more involved. So I'm originally from New York, and I've been trying for the past year, truly, because my first year, I didn't really believe in Philly fashion, so I was going back to New York every single weekend, burning gas, running up tickets, but I was out there every weekend. But now I'm here, and I was trying to find where the fashion is in Philly, and I've met a lot of the people here in trying to do so. So one of the things I was told recently was that as a young woman, as a young black woman especially, the first language you speak if you're trying to be in the fashion world is your outfit. So what you're wearing means a whole lot. So what I want to ask the panel is, none of you are young black females, but what I want to ask you is, fellow business owners and public figures in the fashion industry, you're expected to have great style. So how do you define style, and how does it serve as its own styling marketing tool? So I'll start with Victoria.
Okay, so I'm actually going to tell you an experience that I just had recently from my boss. She told me I had a touch base kind of about how I'm going and as far as promotion and my path for that. And the first thing she said to me was, I just want to let you know that, you really stand out from the other people on your team. And she said the first thing she said is that when you walk into the room, everyone talks about your outfit and you just have an eye for fashion. And I know people always think like, you have to represent yourself and always be so put up in, suit and tie. But it's really cool to have your own spice on things and to stand out. So I think fashion is really the one way that you can, for me at least, it's been the one way in my life that I could always, show people who I really am. I've always been an outspoken woman, but being able to walk into a room and have something really cool on, and people are going to gravitate to that, and especially women. That's what it's all about. We always have to have a good picture for the gram, and we always have to stand out. And it's really important not only to do that in the business of fashion, to always look cool and be able to express yourself through fashion, have those statement pieces on. But and me being in the business too, it's actually benefited me for my job. My boss also said that to me, and she said, you're a standout figure, and not just by your personality, but by how you carry yourself and what you wear. And that's always important too, to be true to yourself and express yourself. Fashion is art. I might not be able to draw anything, but I can come and I can slay. So.
Can you take it away?
How do I even right? I think for me, I've again always appreciated fashion. One of my mantras is you dress for the position that you want, not the position that you have. So, in high school, I was like that kid who would come in with my pants were never sagging. I had slightly high water shoes. I'm not gay. But I just always dressed a certain way. And then when I went to college, people look at me differently. You kind of know what you're doing. Can you help me?
Right.
Can you help me tie that tie? What should I wear for this prom, or whatever the case may be. So I just always loved getting dressed. One of the things that I do, I have an Instagram page called The Suit Grid. I have 191,000 followers on it, and it's me literally just creating outfits and taking pictures of them and posting what the outfit is. And I've been able to gain a lot of followers off of that, and it's like a global type thing. You don't gotta follow it because it's just what I'd like to do, but I guess the way that I got into what I'm doing is a player saw me, like, yo, I love your style, and can you dress me? And in the back of my head, I'm like, I'm no stylist. I can help you, but can I help them? And then I was in this condo, and another player walked in, like, are you a stylist? And I was like, yeah. So I helped him, and then so on and so forth. But again, it's just believing in what your style, whatever it is. If you are avant-garde, or you're extra, or you're not, as long as you have that confidence to wear whatever you wear, and you put a smile on and you just slay, you know what I mean? Then you think you got it, and that's just everything that I've always done, and I will continue to do it. Because again, getting dressed is a conversation starter. You know what I mean? I walk into a building or walk into a room with a hat on, and people would look, he's fly, and then you just build that relationship. So that's just random. That's just what I do.
For me, impression is everything. And before I started making clothes, I was styling, and I realized I would take my clients to Zara, Bloomingdale's, but I never would wear one of those clothes. So when I transitioned into being a designer, for me to have someone purchase something for my clothes, they used to look at me like, what are you wearing? Is that what you, they're not gonna purchase it unless they see you wearing it, and I feel like a lot of times that's like the seller for me. If they see what I'm wearing, they're like, can I get that on my boyfriend? Can you make that for women? So I feel like a lot of times it's really like how you carry yourself, or like how you walk into a room, like how you stand out, and how, it's like little conversations pieces, like how you mentioned, like the way you have a tie, the way your shirt is. Those little details go a long way, and just me, I dressed Jordan B, right, for All-Star Weekend, Tahiri, for the Emmys, Caleb McLaughlin. All those relationships I built was because of what I wore that day. When the stylists are my best friends. I learned that. So they come to me, they're like, oh, I see what you was wearing, let's get him in that you had on last week. They go to my Instagram, they're like, I want that piece for him right there. So it goes a long way, and every day counts, actually.
No days off.
Yeah, no days off.
I feel like I've learned it so many times through work. I'll have my bummy days, and I'm like, you know what? there's no reason to have bummy days. If you get rid of all those bummy clothes, you can't have a bummy day. But it's taken some time for me to like let that set in. Because there's not much going on t-shirts, so I haven't really said how I know all of these people, but we were just talking about it a second ago. Where I've known from my teen years, that nobody here is really from the New York scene, but back when there was like a teen, when you were allowed to go somewhere as a teenager, that's what I met over just being on that scene. And so we met through work, and we met through the grace of God brought us together because we were supposed to meet, and we met through a mutual friend. But one of the things I want to talk about is the word influencer, because I feel like that word gets thrown around so many times by everybody who feels like, you know what, I have X number of followers, so now I'm an influencer. But I believe if you don't have the power to actually influence change or cause somebody to take an action, you're not really an influencer. So what I want to ask all of these people is, in their line of work, what qualities are brands looking for from you, or what do you look for in others that you work with? For example, for you, if you're looking for someone to wear your clothes, you look for a brand partnership, you look for somebody to style. What do you look for in somebody to define them as an influencer? I'll take two.
So there's been times where I've declined clients, like high-profile clients, because of they just don't match the branding for Garçon Couture. So a lot of times I'm looking for men or women that represent themselves in like the best way that they can be, professionally or in any scene, right? So when it comes to how they speak, like what they do as like their profession, a lot of times we get actors, we get models, but we decline people who sometimes they're like on, like for example, Love and Hip Hop, right? So if you're going crazy on Love and Hip Hop, I just feel like if you were to put my clothes on, it would have a bad representation, a bad taste on the company. So then that would decline a lot of sales for the month or for that quarter. So a lot of times that's what we're looking for. We're looking for people who's on point with representing themselves. So we have a brand ambassador. So it's a brand ambassador, when they see him in the street, they're like, oh, you're the model of the store. They see his face, he's always like well groomed. He has like, a strong posture. And he's very friendly. He'll come here, speak to everyone here, get to know everyone. So it's people like that friendly that represent the brand in a positive light. We try to stay away from all the negative, anything negative that will hurt the company. And also like with our wording, with our captions, like we watch what he writes on his personal page also, because that comes back to the company. Just like the whole thing with H&M. We can't allow that stuff, so all that stuff goes along with also.
Okay, so this might be a little bit jumping ahead, but since you already touched on it, I kind of want to ask, what defines the line between what's good and what's bad for the brand? For example, I'm thinking a good brand partnership might bring you a lot of followers or a lot of money, but like you said, putting something on Love and Hip Hop, it gets you a lot of exposure, but it might not be good for the brand. Then there can be something on the other side where it just, it can be a lot of something, but it's not exactly your target audience. So how do you define what that line is between whether or not you take all the money, take all the followers, and knowing it's not so great for the brand, or do you go the other route and say, you know what?
Sometimes it's not worth it. I built the brand from scratch, from the bottom up. I quit my job last year to run the company full time, so I cannot risk a few followers or a little check for the long run, right? So I don't want that'll actually deter the company within days like this. And the fact that I quit everything, that's all I have. Mm-hmm. So when Caleb McLaughlin, he's the kid from Stranger Things, the black kid from Stranger Things, mm-hmm. He was also in the New Edition story. Yeah. So the stylists came to me like, we want you to dress him. He got best dressed for the Emmys and also for the GQ Awards. He's wearing the company's clothes. And when we see him, he's like the only black guy in the Netflix show. He's very positive. I believe he's gonna be like the next Michael B. Jordan, the next Denzel. He's about 16 years old right now, and meeting him, he's like very positive, influential to everyone, to his peers, even people around him, and that's the people that we want to represent our clothes. So had it been someone like the opposite, someone from like Love and Hip Hop. No offense, but it would benefit us. Even if we get more followers, we don't want that type of influence that'll bring the company down. Compared to Caleb McLaughlin when they're asking him on Bravo, oh, like, what are you wearing? I'm wearing Garçon Couture. you know, he represents for himself as well as a kid, and all the kids that are watching, being a black-owned company, it's like it actually helps the culture evolve for 20 years down the line.
So, Tori, tell me how that works for you when you're getting requests from other influencers to do a brand partnership or some brand that may not necessarily align with what you stand for, but you know that this could kind of propel you in some way. How do you decline that offer knowing that there could be something big on the line?
So he really nailed that answer. And I've gotten a lot of requests and people reaching out to me and, you know, we'll give you this, we'll give you that, and or swap for business or money and things like that. But if you don't believe in the product, I don't think you should market that and use that. So like she said, we are all influencers here in one way or another. And we really, you know, it's kind of crazy to think, but people look up to me. Like I have young girls who look up to me and some that I mentor, and there's other people, you know, just through social media, they look at us to, you know, look up to us for fashion, for style, like the things that we do, and we have to, you know, really be careful of what we do and what we say and how we act, because people are looking up to us, and you have to be, you know, taken seriously too, because that's at the end of the day, being a woman too, you know, with men and other things like that, you want to be taken seriously. When you meet up with a photographer and, you know, I've been put in situations where, you know, you're taking my pictures, but, you know, don't text me outside of business, okay? You know, like, you have to really put your foot down and tell people and show people through your actions and through your will, you know, what you want to accomplish here. And I've had to, you know, what is it, with the flat tummy tea, like all those big celebrities out there who post that is a bunch of BS, okay? That tea is not going to make you sick. Vegetables and, you know, water, that's your food. So there's things like that where they might pay you to market their brand, but, you know, do you really believe in that? Is that what you want, you know, people to believe in too? So I've had to turn down things like that, but it, you know, when one door closes, another one opens. And I truly believe that. And also, you can also reach out to that person who, you know, who reached out to you and said, well, you know, that's not really something that I believe in, but do you have anything else? Can you keep me in mind for anything else? Because I've done that, and that actually led to an Old Navy collab with me, where the company reached out to me and I was able to do a 3-month blog post with them, and it was a great experience, and I mean the turnaround from that. So, you know, turn something small into something big. So, you know, just always ask that person who reached out to you, they clearly, you know, saw you and they are interested in you. So just ask them, you know, that's not, tastefully ask them, tell them, you know, that's not the way that I want to move with my brand, but what else can I do for you? Like, how else can we partner?
Similar to what you two said, I had an experience where it's a lot of like online companies that will reach out to you and say, hey, we would love to give you free product, or we're partnering with X company and we want to give you stuff, right? And I think when I hit on my super, I had like $100,000 on it. And the brand reached out to me and he was like, hey, I can't remember what brand it was, but it was a third-party company. And they said, hey, we want to give you this, post it for free or whatever. And I wasn't really worried about money. I'm like, all right, cool. But I looked at the brand and I said, well, this doesn't align with who I am or what I enjoy. So just like you said, you know, I said, you know, thanks, but no thanks. And two to 3 months later, they came back to me and was like, hey, Coach would like to work with you. So Coach gave me a bag, you know what I mean, like a super dope bag. And I was able to collab with them, as well as my good friend, Sabir Peel. I think a few of you may know him, but he actually was the first person, because he is a director or something for a shoe company, and he paid me. The very first person ever paid me to do an endorsement on shoes. These are actually the shoes that he gave me to post and get paid for. So again, it's just building those relationships, being able to say no to money or exposure because you don't necessarily agree with it. I haven't had that experience in terms of working with like athletes, and I hope I don't get to that place where a player is like, yo, help me, and I'm like, you did this to this girl, I can't understand. I'm hoping that doesn't, you know, happen, but, you know, it's like not burning any bridges, building relationships organically, and staying true to who you are.
So I asked you guys about when brands come to you and what you define as the line between like what they shouldn't cross when trying to work with you. But when you're looking at brands and other partners, what's key in how you present yourself to them? So those people are coming to you to ask you to do something for them. If you find a company that you definitely, like you said, Old Navy came to you. If you want to go to Old Navy, what's key in how you present yourself to a bigger brand that you want to work with?
Media deck.
Excuse me?
A media deck. So on social media nowadays, you have this thing where if your Instagram account is a business, you can look at your analytics. Your analytics can let you know male or female, the demographic, the ages, like everything. So what I did, my birthday last year, I literally stayed up all night and I was building a social media deck, and I began to pitch it to companies just like, hey, my name is I own this page, I have this many followers, this is my international following as well as my domestic following, I would love to work with you. And a lot of the time what I did was, I didn't even ask for money, I just wanted the product, because once you get the product and you build that relationship, then you're able to, down the line, request money for campaigns. Because I can't tell you how many times I've experienced people ask for the check ahead of time and burn that relationship. You know what I mean? Like, the check is gonna come.
Right.
You know what I mean? Build that relationship where X company, and you know, it'll happen for you. So I think a social media deck is very, very important, and there are templates to create these things.
I was just gonna ask you, give me some of the ones that are, I don't know if you guys use Canva, which is a free tool.
Yeah, Canva's
out there.
amazing. Yeah, Canva's amazing. Canva, yeah. I've used Canva. Canva is like, it's a free app that has like templates already built in. And then you can
build the
it's super amazing. Yeah, you can use that.
Resumes, right?
Yes, resume. I mean,
And it's your Twitter headers, your Facebook headers, your story. Remember, that's all that. So it's a completely free tool.
Super.
Canva.com.
Canva.com. Yeah. So use Canva, or I mean, if you're like creating your own. Yeah. I also use on my MacBook. I use like Adobe Photoshop and stuff like that, and just mix and match. It's very simple. I can send anybody they want like a copy of what my joint is. I can airdrop it so you can look at it and build it off your own. Like, it's super simple. I think it's like 8 pages that I did, and then the last page, which was 8 page, I said my brand sponsorships of the brands that I worked with in the past. So I work with like K-Swiss, Coach. I work with Timex. I work with New York Fashion Week. I work with a bunch of companies. Gordon Bros, the hats that I wear. So typically, like, everything that I wear is like, chances are I've worked with that brand, because I'm all about the discount. Like, it's too expensive to be out here buying full price stuff. I just can't do it. You know what I mean? So that's it.
Okay. So, you did really good on that one.
Just say ditto, like your ditto.
Okay. So I think one thing that's really important is to know, to have a business plan and think of who is your target customer. Because even though I'm not selling anything, I'm selling myself in a sense. So you have to understand, and that's something that I, when I was kind of developing, trying to figure out how I was going to put my blog on my resume, I had to think of like, wait, who is like my market? Who do I want to reach? And that's when I channel myself as a plus size blogger and a plus size influencer. So that's, most of the women who are on there, they reach out to me for that sort of fashion tip. So you have to channel what you want to do, what you want to accomplish, and who you want to reach, and then you can build off of that. So what brands are going to, come with that? There's tons of growing plus size brands right now, so I can reach out to those brands, and as long as I can, figure out, so I'm a plus size blogger, these are the type, I have mostly women on my page, and this is my style. You want to, really embrace yourself too, because that's what brands really want, is they want originality. They want someone who's raw and who is, there's so many people on social media, so how are you going to stand out? How are you going to differentiate yourself from them? You have to be different, show your personality, I found out with posts, sometimes when I when I talk about what I'm going through and when I get personal, I get the page views coming in, I have people saying like, I'm praying for you, like things like that, and that's what people can relate to, is the rawness, and I think that's really important, is always stay raw and humble too, and just have something that people can gravitate to, and people gravitate to realness, what they can relate to, so brands too.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
It's a little different on my end because I have a product.
Right.
So usually we have different sectors in my company. So I'm doing like 50 weddings this year. I was in Ethiopia like a week and a half ago. So I pitched to people who want weddings, right? And then I have the school sector where I did. So I went to school for graphic design. So with you guys use Canva, I just go on Photoshop and design it myself and then build it out. So I send out pitches to charter schools. So charter schools in New York are pretty big, and farm season is right now. So I'm doing about like 25 kids at a charter school called Eagle Academy. I sent out the media kit what Indy talking about, and it said what I did like a prompt package. I also provided like the company's history, who we've dressed, and where are we, and how easy it is. I even made a payment plan for parents, made it easy for them. So the only thing the parents have to worry about is getting their shoes. But I did the pants, everything else from the bottom up, except the shoes, right? So little things like that. I sent it all to the principals, and they're like, yeah, come on down, come measure the kids, just to make it easy for them. So now these kids know about the company, and also the parents know about the company as well. And guess what? All these kids are going to like top colleges. They're gonna go to the college. They're gonna be like, oh, Russell Couture dressed me for my prom. Go to them. You know, so that was a good call. It was very, very important.
Everybody up here has something. Everybody out there has something. One of the things that I wanted to kind of ask about is, it was a question that I heard on a panel recently about discounts and things being free, and you should kind of offer something so that you can kind of grab somebody in, because if you offer something for free, people are going to jump on it. But there's also that fine line of offering too much for free and you not being seen as a brand of quality. So what I want to ask these guys is how they keep themselves known as a brand of quality. Although you work with a bunch of different people, do you rely on the celebrities? Well, actually all of you have worked with big brands and celebrities. Do you rely on that celebrity relationship that you had to kind of say, you know what, he's worked with so-and-so, so he must be great? Or does that brand quality show through, I mean, obviously through the work you do, but what do you do?
It's funny because Eddie called me about a month ago about an NFL player. And he's like, oh, it's an NFL player. He's like, he went to this school, places with this school. He told me about his name, his height, and everything. So I'm like, all right, cool. So the thing is, he wants me to, he's going to style him, I'm going to make the clothes. That was the concept at the time. And I'm like, does he have a budget? Oh, these football players are huge. And it's not cheap to get clothes. You know, so a lot of times what I've experienced was these celebrities, they don't be wanting to pay for anything. They don't. And you know why? Because just like I'm a designer, they can go to the next designer, they'll make everything they want for free. Right? So it's really about just quality. And I know my quality is good. So if they walk out, I'm like, well, that's fine. I'm gonna be great. I'm gonna be great, and no matter what's happening, there's gonna be another person, another door opening for the company. So there's been designs I've done for celebrities that's been pro bono, like, here, we got you, we're gonna take care of you, but the next time, you gotta like at least give something where you should pay for it. There's been times where I just routinely from Power, and I dressed for like I think social awards, and then the next time they came, and I'm like, all right, so can we make a package deal for him? I gave him the numbers, and then they was like, oh, I don't know. So it's one of those things where it's hit or miss. You have to understand, you have to be the client, everyone is different. You have to know whether or not it's worth it for you to do another one, because it could be expensive on your end, right? And I also do free consultations. So when you come into my office to show you want to get a suit done, those consultations are free. And I provide that, and you get free champagne, right? Come get champagne. You know? And I treat everyone the same, even if you're not coming to get something. I want everyone to get treated the same. Celebrity or not, it doesn't matter. I speak to everyone the same way, with respect, and I show them the quality that a company actually provides. So that's the free. But for me, it's like everyone should get the same amount of love.
The only person that I would dress for free is unless if you're like a LeBron James, right? Or you're like, because like to me, LeBron is
personal now.
he is seriously, because again, it's not about, to me, it's not about the check, because I'm fairly still new in this. I've been doing this for 3 years. right? Where other people have been doing it for full time. So I have my friends who are styling like Neo or the dude from Insecure, Jay Ellis, and, there's a bunch of people. So I'm talking to these guys like, hey, how do I do this? What do I do? So I simply DM players, and some respond, some don't respond, and it's incredible. Like some people are like, yo, I love your work, let's work. And some people are like, nah, I'm good, right? So, like I said, a free consultation is like, I'm not gonna charge you. Let's talk about what we can do. Can we do a 3-month situation, or do you want to do one-offs, a minimum of 3, or things of that nature? And sometimes they're like yes, sometimes they're like no. But I mean, I'm a single business, so I'm not in a position to do anything.
Whoa, it's a known prophecy now. Whoa, gotta know the prophecy now. Whoa, it's a known prophecy now. Nah, 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 nah. Whoa, it's a known